I'm Larry Curtis, campaign manager for Gary Keith Sr., along with Ed Miller, a part-time state employee working for State Senator Michael Brady, and also radio host of Stand Up Strong. Carl Pride, media center director of Brockton Cable Access, and Susanna Sudborough, a reporter with the Enterprise. Together, our group has worked hard to bring to you, the voters of the City of Brockton, this candidates forum. Some individuals have expressed both Ed's and my involvement in the interview process due to political association with some of the candidates for office. Together, we are here to ensure you that a balanced and transparent process has taken place during the interviews conducted on October 5th, 6th, and 7th. All candidates have had the right of not being interviewed by any one of us if they believed a conflict existed. I am happy to report that all scheduled interviews were conducted without any candidates' objections. This forum would not have taken place without the collaborative efforts of our volunteers, the Enterprise, Brockton Cable Access, and our candidates. Remember to get out and vote on Tuesday, November 2nd. It's an important election for the City of Brockton. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the Candidates Forum 2021. I'm your host, Ed Miller, and we are pleased to have with me today Jamie Hodgins, who's running for Ward 2 Councillor. Jamie, thank you for coming down.
You're welcome.
Now, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you would make a good choice for the Ward 2 Council.
Yeah, so a little bit about myself is I'm Jamie Hodges. I grew up in Brockton, lived in Ward 2 basically all my time here in Brockton. I'm product of the public school system, a 2012 graduate from Brockton High School. I've received both my master's and my bachelor's degree, one from LaSalle, one from Regis College. And I'm running for city council because I'm passionate about my community. I want to continue to be involved in my community, continue to represent their views and whatever concerns they have, and be the voice that brings those concerns to the council board to try to provide a resolution for them.
Mm-hmm. And what do you believe is the most important issue facing this council today?
The most important issue that I believe is public safety. That's one of my top goals is public safety. We have to make sure our community members are safe. I've heard a lot of concerns going door to door with my community members. They're telling me that their safety, they're sometimes afraid to call the police. They're sometimes want to make sure the police come and answer their concerns. So public safety, I believe, is the biggest issue, but I also want to be on the council to help resolve that issue as well, bridge that gap, make sure we have more effective communication within our law enforcement in our community as well.
And what are some of the recommendations that you would put forward to get the public safety and other issues that you're strong on?
Well, my first recommendation would be to maybe if the police could have a call prioritizing. So if someone calls, like they told me now they have a prioritizing. So maybe if someone calls, they can have someone not take as long, to come help that elderly resident. Or if they have someone maybe bilingual for their 911 call takers, so those customers who have that language barrier, they can also be able to effectively communicate with 911 as well. And some of the other issues or recommendations I would make is to communicate more with my city council to find out as a goal what we can make as a recommendation, because I can't do it by myself. It's 10 other people that sit on the board with me. Mm-hmm. So together we can provide the best recommendation, the best solution for the whole city of Brockton.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a ward councilor, you'll be required to vote on certain items that would benefit the city.
Yes.
How would you vote if the vote you're going to cast is not well taken by the residents of Ward 2, something that you support, you think will help the city, but the residents are hesitant on?
Well, that's when the ward meetings would come into play. So I would have a meeting with my Ward 2 constituents and talk to them, find out their concerns. Why do you not support this item that is on the city council agenda? Tell me your concerns about what it is, and then maybe give my views on why I would support that item that's coming to them from the city council, and see how they would see it in my view. But I can't persuade them, I can't make them do anything, but I would just try to weigh the pros and cons of each side of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Now, this isn't under the council purview, so to speak, but it was something that's going to be an issue, and it was an issue before. Now, 3 years ago, we entered a contract with Waste Management, resulting in things that don't really help the constituents. We got smaller trash barrels. The trash barrels that we have, a family of 2 would fill up before the weekends. It also results in we have to buy the trash bags, the special trash bags that cost $4 for $5, which when we started was $5 for $5.
Yep.
It's also a 350% markup that if someone went into the local grocery store and bought a bag of 28 or 30. So they're also expending more money on that. When that contract comes up, because it will come up in the next term,
Okay.
it's 5 years, what are some of the issues that you feel, even maybe ones I didn't mention, but the ones I mentioned, how could that be fixed? Because as you look, trash bags, we go around other communities, our barrels are about half the
Real
size.
small, yes.
What are some of the recommendations, and not even recommendations, but things you would demand that have to be put in to benefit Ward 2 and the city?
Well, in my Ward 2, like you said, the whole city as a whole is to, like you said, other communities such as Boston, and we have Bridgewood, they have larger trash cans that we have. So I would, when our contract's up for renewal, I would want to do some type of negotiation, like, okay, you're charging us this large of a percentage, we should be able to have, like you said, the 5 for $5 trash bags or the larger trash barrels, and we don't need a big recycling bin, just swap the sizes. We'll do the little one for the recycling and the big one for the trash. We could just, because I was in Boston and I saw that, I was like, this Brockton does it completely opposite. So I would definitely propose that to the table. We're charging our residents this much percentage, but we're giving them little trash, and everybody has to buy little green bags. Like you said, 4 for $5, that's not a deal. Like my parents, for example, have to buy 2 or 3 packs of those just to, get the trash. So that would be something I would definitely look for negotiating, especially amongst my counselors. Like we could have a meeting like, look, this is what I see happening in Ward 2. Do you notice this in your ward as well? Then when we go to the council and have to vote on it, we can all be in agreement of what we all see.
And that goes through the mayor's office, but you would also be working with the mayor and talking to the mayor,
Yes,
whoever that
working
would
with
be
the
at
mayor.
the time.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that I keep on hearing is the small business owners, especially new ones trying to move in, and even some of the ones who have been here, are expressing their frustration over the process of their projects and trying to open up their stores in a timely manner, which in Brockton does take a lot longer than other communities. The primary concerns deals with the length of time it takes to get the approvals needed, and also trying to navigate through City Hall on where you have to be. And that can be confusing, especially where some speak a second language. What do you feel the changes needed to make Brockton a more business-friendly in the timing and the approval system?
I think first we need to become a more marketable for small businesses. Like, I know they're trying to build downtown up, but as I always say, downtown's great for small businesses, but we need small businesses in our neighborhoods as well. Our neighborhoods need those little nice, little cozy, small-owned businesses that we can all like go and eat, or you could get buy an item from. So I feel like to make us more marketable as a city, we have to appeal to those businesses that want to come here, not like, because I know it's a process to open a business. So maybe if we can have someone who works in the mayor's office that can help those new business owners streamline through the process. Okay, let me help you do this. So like an advocate or someone that helps them with the process. Because sometimes if you're a first-time business owner, you're going to be clueless as to what's happening when you're trying to open your business. But having that person there that works in the mayor's office and helps you get through your paperwork, maybe that can streamline the paperwork to go faster than you're trying to fill out everything.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
And currently, well, Brockton, let's say, is a mid-sized, 105,000 people city. We're a good-sized city.
Yes.
But we have a city council that has to run every 2 years and is part-time. How do you feel, and would you support city councilors, one running every 4 years instead of 2, and 2, should the city council be full-time positions for the people who are elected, or stay with part-time?
Well, in my opinion, I believe that the 2-year city council works because every 2 years, like, say someone wants to retire, they get into it and they're like, oh, maybe this is not for me, maybe this is not something I wanted. At least they know, okay, I do 2 years and I can get out. But 4 years, you have to last 4 years. I mean, 4 years wouldn't be too bad, but I feel like 2 years is good to then keep run again, you know? And as in regards to full-time, part-time, I feel like it should be a full-time because you are a full-time counselor. You're never a full-time counselor. You're always answering calls from your constituents. You're always answering, you're solving complaints, and you're just always full-time. So I do think it should be a full-time position because no matter what, you're still full-time counselor on the clock all the time, all day. So.
Okay, well, Jamie, thank you for coming down, answering all the questions. That's why we're trying to get the information on why people are running and who they should choose.
You're welcome.
We have a few minutes. Why don't you take the time and tell the people in Ward 2 why they should be voting for you and why you should be their counselor?
Yes, so I should be your counselor. I'm running for Ward 2 City Council. I will respect your views as a city councilor. I'm going to have an open phone policy no matter what the time is. If you call me, if I don't pick up, I will be sure to return your call back. On November 2nd, I'll be number 1 on the ballot. So I would love if you voted for me. Love to count on your vote if you vote for me.
Well, thank you. You've been listening to Jamie Hodges, who's running for Ward 2 Council, which is an open seat, so it's very important for Ward 2 to get out there. That's all the time we have, and I want to thank, again, Jamie for being here, and I want to thank you for listening. And remember, November 2nd is the election, and it is very important. These are the people who are going to be running our city in elections. That's how we choose people to run our city, to run our state, to run our federal government. And sitting home doesn't help. So remember, November 2nd, get out and vote. It is your right, and it is important. My name is Ed Miller. Thank you. Welcome to Candidates Forum 2021. I'm your host, Ed Miller, and we are pleased to introduce in the studio with us today Ward 2 Council candidate Maria Tavares. Maria, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Eddie. Thank you for having me here today. This is a pleasure for me. I'm doing great and beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And tell us a little bit about yourself and why you would be a good choice for Ward 2 Councilor.
Yes, myself, I am Maria Tavares. I am a spouse. I am a wife. I'm a spouse. I'm a mother of 4 kids. I am a businesswoman, and then I am a business leader. Mm-hmm. Why making me, qualify for this position? I've been working for, for Border Health as a code enforcement for a little while. And since I've been working with the Border Health, I learned a lot of need in Ward 2. And then this is why the reason why I'm run.
Okay. And why do you believe that you would be a good counselor of Ward 2? And what do you feel are the most important issues of Ward 2?
Right, yes. I believe because, as a mother, as a business woman, and a leader in the community, I know I learned so much you need in Ward 2. As far as you know, Ward 2 is the most background. We have a lot of Latino Cape Verde in the country.
More diverse.
More diverse. And I've been residing 15 here. I learned so much, in Ward 2, and then this is why I'm decided to I feel if I get elected, the way I'm gonna work with them.
Mm-hmm. And as a ward councilor, you may be required to vote on certain issues that may not be popular with the Ward 2 constituents. Would you be able to work on something like that, even if it doesn't have that full support?
Yes, actually, what I'm gonna, basically we're gonna figure it out based, it's not gonna affect the decision on the people from Ward 2. Like I said, I never been city council before, but my goals is to work nothing to affect them. And, it's
Okay.
just,
Now, you mentioned you were a small business owner.
yes.
One of the things that small business owners have expressed to me is the difficult time they have and the process they have to go through of trying to set up, especially a new business here in the city of Brockton. They have to deal with the length of time, which is a lot longer in other areas. They have to deal with the different departments that can be a bit tedious. What do you think are some of the changes that need to be done so it would be quicker and more friendly for businesses to open up here in Brockton?
Yes, actually, business, especially small business, we're struggling. And then we have a lot of small business been closed, especially time pandemic. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like, small business, nobody looking through small business. And then even though I'm a business owner, I am a business consultant. I've been work with a lot of business, like you said, because they've been struggle. I've been trying to help them, especially find the research. So I try to get any paperwork, anything to get it done. It's not easy for us to get things done, or it's not easy for us to get any resource. It's not easy for us to get any grant. Even though they say the city have a lot of opportunity or a lot of grants, like in Brockton, the small business is being affected so much. I don't think nobody is really looking through the small business. Mm-hmm. This is my thing.
Are there any ways that the city could be more friendly? You mentioned the grants and everything. Anything the city can do to make it move quicker?
Yes, actually they should have, I think, somebody work with the small business a little closer, listen to them, what's the concern, what they need, and then figure out the strategy, how can they work with them to improve what they need.
Mm-hmm. Now, this isn't under the purview of what a councillor would do, but being a councillor, you may have to work with people doing this. Now 3 years ago, the city entered a contract with Republic, which does our trash. Unfortunately, the containers that we use are about 30 gallons. A family of two could barely use in a week. The other issue is the trash bags that we have to buy certified by the city, which went up 25%. As people can tell you, it used to be 5 for $5, now it's 4 for $5. Plus, that is a 355% markup on if you just bought regular trash bags. What do you think you could suggest in working with the mayor, whoever it is, about bringing these extra costs down and making it more conducive of a family of four, let's say, being just able to use one barrel?
Yes, actually, I know even myself, I've been struggling with that too, everybody in Brockton. But I know before, I remember when there was, since Bill Carpenter, was a mayor. But the time, the reason why what happened, based on I even have a conversation with the Bill when he was alive about this, because so many people was complain so much about it, because we don't use a recycle much, we use the trash more than recycle. And then he was saying because a lot of people didn't show up for the meeting the day, that was the reason most of the people vote for the recycle one. Mm-hmm. But if I get elected, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna figure it out, work with the community. Basically, we're gonna work on the petition number, right? And then try to work with the mayor and try to work with the city council. How can we get this issue done? Basically, if you got the petition done, 1,000 people agree with one side, and then they should look at whatever the number says, because it's all about the community, it's all about the public, whatever they said.
Mm-hmm. Now, right now, currently, a councillor serves for 2 years, then has to run again if they so choose. Do you think the city needs to consider of making our councilors, one, a 4-year position instead of a 2-year position, and two, becoming full-time instead of part-time councilors? We are a city of 105,000 people, and we are a good, mid-sized, and growing city. Do you feel How do you feel on those issues?
I agree with the 4 term because, like, 2 term, like 2 year is so short time period. Like, it doesn't give you much time or access to work because one time you spend all the time like run your campaign, and the second time you figure out how you can work because like you never been city council before, right? You need to learn it and train, and then that's the time it's going to be done for you to run again, and then. I find myself it's not enough time to give opportunity to do more work and to try to improve more things in the community. Like I totally agree, they should take this in consideration for here, and this is my opinion.
Okay. Now, thank you for coming in today and interviewing. This is why we have people come down so we can tell them why you're running and why you may be the best person to run. Why don't you take a couple of minutes, tell people who you are, why you're running, why you would make the best candidate.
Yes, like I said, my name is Maria Tavares. I'm run because like I know the concern. I've been living Ward 2 like for 15 years. I know the struggle, and then I know the pain. Your pain is my pain. And then, like, I should get elected because you should elect someone as a spouse, as a businesswoman, as a community leader, as a property rent owner. And I find myself the qualified one because I work with the community a long time. Like, I don't like to sell myself so much. This is all about myself. I like to do more than I sell myself because I like somebody to talk about me, not me to sell myself because I believe when you sell yourself too much, for me, you don't qualify. But like I said, you should elect someone is really stick in the community, someone who knows the community, someone is a leader, like, like myself. And then I hope you vote for me on November 2nd. I don't like to say so much about myself. This is the thing I don't like to tell about myself, but I am the person do more than I talk.
Okay.
And then...
Well, thank you for coming down. We have Maria Tavares running for Ward 2 City Council, which is an open seat, so it's very important if you live in Ward 2 especially to get down and vote. Thank you for sharing your views here on Candidates Forum 2021 at Brockton Cable. And don't forget, everybody, November 2nd is the election, and this is the day we choose for the people who are going to represent us. It's an important day. Please remember to vote. Thank you, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you.